Have you ever heard of the punishments suffered by prisoners during World War I? Today, we're diving into the dark history of World War I and exploring some of the most brutal punishments used during this devastating time. Get ready to be shocked and amazed as we uncover the harsh reality of war. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and let's start the journey into the past. The Great War, as it was known, was one of the darkest periods in human history. With millions of lives lost and entire cities and communities devastated, it's no surprise that nations would go to great lengths to maintain order and control. This is where the use of punishment came into play. During World War I, nations implemented a variety of punishments to enforce strict rules and suppress dissent. These punishments ranged from public flogging and executions to extended solitary confinement and forced labor. The intention was to maintain discipline and control over soldiers and civilians alike, but the reality was far more disturbing. These punishments left a lasting impact on those who endured them and shaped the course of history. But despite their brutality, they have often been overlooked in the larger narrative of the war. That's why we're here today to shed light on this dark chapter of human history and explore the most common punishments used during World War I. So, let's take a journey back in time and discover the harsh realities of life during the Great War. Court-martial. A court-martial is a military tribunal that is used to try members of the armed forces for crimes or offenses committed while on active duty. During World War I, soldiers were subjected to court-martials for a variety of reasons, including desertion, cowardice, and insubordination. The penalties for these crimes could be severe, ranging from imprisonment to death by firing squad. Trench punishment. Trench punishment was a form of punishment used to discipline soldiers who had violated military rules or failed to follow orders. This type of punishment involved placing the offending soldier in a trench for a set period of time, often for several hours. The soldier would be forced to stand in the trench, sometimes in full view of the enemy, and could be subjected to various forms of abuse, including beatings and humiliation. Trench punishment was a particularly brutal form of punishment, as soldiers were often forced to endure extreme conditions, such as cold and wet weather in the trench. Confinement. Confinement was another form of punishment used during World War I. This involved placing a soldier or civilian in a cell or similar structure where they would be held for a set period of time. Confinement could range from a few days to several weeks, depending on the offense committed. During this time, the individual was often denied basic amenities, such as food, water, and proper sanitation facilities. Forced labor. Forced labor was a form of punishment used during World War I to punish soldiers who had committed crimes or violated military rules. This type of punishment involved forcing the offending soldier to perform hard manual labor, such as digging trenches or carrying heavy loads. Forced labor was a form of punishment that was used to both punish the soldier and to help the war effort, as the labor performed by the soldier would contribute to the construction of fortifications and other military structures. Public humiliation. Public humiliation was another form of punishment used during World War I. This involved exposing a soldier or civilian to public ridicule, either through the use of signs or other forms of written or visual communication. The individual might be forced to wear a sign or uniform that identified them as a criminal or punished individual. This type of punishment was often used to shame and discourage others from committing similar crimes or offenses. Flogging. Flogging was a form of physical punishment used during World War I to discipline soldiers who had committed crimes or violated military rules. This type of punishment involved beating the offending soldier with a whip or other implement, causing pain and injury. Flogging was a particularly brutal form of punishment, as it often resulted in serious physical injury and could have long-lasting effects on the health and well-being of the individual. Death penalty. The death penalty was the ultimate form of punishment during World War I, reserved for the most serious crimes and offenses. Those who were found guilty of desertion, treason, or espionage faced the ultimate consequences of their actions: death by execution. This method of punishment was designed to serve as a deterrent to others and send a message to those who might consider similar actions. but the reality was far more brutal and inhumane. The executions were often carried out in public, with crowds gathered to watch and bear witness to the punishment. The use of the death penalty during World War I was a reflection of the harsh realities of war and the lengths that nations were willing to go to maintain order and control. It was a dark chapter in human history that left a lasting impact on those who were affected and shaped the course of the war. So let's delve deeper into this topic and explore the history and impact of the death penalty during World War I. That concludes our exploration of punishment during World War I. We hope this video shed light on the brutal punishment and their lasting impact. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay curious and keep exploring the world's untold stories.